It's Monday, September 5th, Labor Day. I came out to the West End Gun Club impromptu range visit this morning just to get some rounds down range. I didn't want to come out today because I figured it was going to be packed, and there's actually quite a few people here. It's already 07:30 and there's actually people on the range, and it's going to start to fill up pretty soon. But I did a lot of brass prep yesterday with Lapua brass. I had to clean and process a lot of brass I'd fired because I was pretty much out of Lapua brass ready to load, or 308 actually, and I loaded some brand new 308 brass as well, Lapua, and I wanted to come out and chrono test them again to see what's going on with the velocities as far as the standard deviation extreme spread. And I fired 10 rounds and they actually fired pretty well. I'll double check the extreme spread, but I was pretty sure it's under 10. I mean, everything's right within 2750 feet per second, which is what that load is supposed to be shooting with fired brass. So I'm not sure what happened at the last range vlogs. I'm wondering if it was maybe just a situation of poor mechanics as far as my recoil is concerned, or managing recoil and how the gun was resetting when I fired. But right now I'm pretty much convinced that new Lapua brass is shooting fine in this gun. I'd even process the necks. I just loaded them up straight out of the box. So that's pretty cool. So I only fired 10 rounds, and I don't think I'm going to waste any more. I'm going to use those for a match. There's matches this upcoming weekend, a 3x600 and a 3x1000 at Camp Pendleton, so I might use those rounds over there. Other than that, I'm going to just shoot a few extra rounds that I had loaded in my box. I'm going to get out of here. But I have some Winchester brass I'm going to shoot up. I know those shoot kind of slow with the same AR comp load that I usually run, 41 grains. It's shooting only about 2,600 feet per second with that in Winchester brass. But I wanted to shoot that Winchester brass. It's been sitting in my cabinet in the garage for quite some time, so I figured, hey, might as well make use of it. So I fired 10 rounds of the 175 grain SMK Winchester brass 41 grains AR comp. It shot pretty well, and the average velocity was 2619 with a standard deviation of 10 and extreme spread of 30. And going back and looking at the series with the 44 grains of Varget and the brand new Lapua brass with the Burgers, the 175 Burger Tacticals, those shot with an average velocity of 2749, which is what I expected, and standard deviation of 7.5 with an extreme spread of 19. So that's pretty good. So brand new Lapua brass shoots well, and I should feel comfortable shooting those in a match. So as I mentioned earlier, this is sort of a last second range visit. I got all my gun stuff in the truck, but my camera gear, it's kind of a mess. I took some stuff out of my camera bag after the last range visit, so I don't have everything I need to do some video that I want to do as far as recording some reviews. But it's a nice overcast day, so I'm going to take some photos before I leave, because overcast is really good as far as dispersion of light, so there's not too many hard shadows, which you don't really want in photography. Well, unless you're going for that look, but generally for stock photography, you don't want that kind of hard shadows. So I'm going to take photos before I leave, and maybe I'll try to record some video if I can figure out some audio. I have my lav mic, I just don't have an audio recorder, so we'll see how that goes. I did bring one other rifle with me today, and that's this Savage 10FP. I bought this back in 2003. I got it with a cheapo factory stock, but as you can see here, I replaced it with a Macmillan A5. I bought this directly from Macmillan. I haven't been shooting this much, but I know it shoots well. It's got about 3,000 rounds in the barrel. I've shot some sub 1 inch groups recently with some Federal Gold Medal match, so I know the gun still shoots good. But the one thing I want to do is get removable magazines in this action, and there really wasn't any option out there for me until I discovered CDI out in Florida, and they make bottom metal that will take AICS mags or AICS compatible mags and adapt it to a Savage 10FP. And the one thing also to bring up is the fact that this is circa 2003, so this has got the 4.275 inch screw spacing. As you can see here, this is 4.275. The newer models, 2008/2009 and up or later, to now are 4.4 inches. So any factory stocks now or aftermarket stocks that you buy will not fit this action. Although I've discovered that some chassis now, like the MDT, or I think it's MDT, they make theirs so that they can take a 4.275. Had I known that, I might have gotten that chassis probably sooner, I guess. But I discovered CDI, and I like this McMillan stock. I like the way the McMillan is. It's the feel, the weight. And I'm going to get the CDI metal from them for about $220, and they include installation and inletting. So I can send them my rifle, they'll inlet the stock and install the metal for me. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's why I brought this out, so I can take some photos of this beforehand and kind of just document that sort of modification I'm going to have done to this rifle. But yeah, Savage 10FP, a lot of people crap on Savages. You can take your pick between Savage, Remington, and what other factory actions are out there, but I will admit that the raceways on this action are kind of rough. I mean, the action is nowhere near as smooth as a Remington if you feel the way that bolt rides the raceways in the receiver. That's one complaint. But the fact that it's user serviceable as far as barrel swaps, as long as you come with a pre-chambered, pre-threaded barrel, you can just swap this barrel off, install the new barrel, headspace it, and you're good to go with headspace gauges. So what I'm probably going to do after I get the bottom metal, and if I can confirm it actually works well, I'm going to order a Bartling barrel from bugholes.com, and probably in 6.5 Creedmoor, or maybe 260 Remington, or maybe 6.5 by 47 Lapua, and install it, take off this 308 barrel, and put the 6.5 barrel of a 6.5 caliber barrel of some chambering on this gun. But yeah, that's why I brought this out, just to take some photos of it. But this is my Savage 10FP, circa 2003, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, for those wondering, this has got a Bushnell Elite 3200 10x fixed scope. It's a mil-dot 1-inch tube. These are actually really inexpensive. At the time I bought this for $125, I think. And it's actually a decent scope for what it is. It's a 1-inch scope, so you don't get much light transmission from the tube. You don't get much adjustments. It's MOA. But it's repeatable. I've taken this to 100, to 600 and back several times, and my zeros at each are always the same. So it tracks well. I have no complaints. And if you're looking for a really inexpensive mil-dot reticle stock, or mil-dot reticle scope, the Bushnell Elite 3200 is not bad. But obviously you can get the SWFA, their sniper scope, I think they call it. And those come with 30mm tubes, so people will probably spend a little bit more for that. And those start at 200, 300, and 400, I think. So, anyway, that's what's on here. I think it's a Kenferrell base and some TPS rings. Today being Labor Day, the range is full. All the bays are taken up. I knew it was going to be a packed day at the range. I didn't plan on using any of the bays, but I did want to obviously come out to chrono test on Friday morning, which because I knew that I didn't know what the conditions are going to be like here on Monday. So I still came out today. I had nothing else to do, but I figured if today was a wash, like if all the benches were full or if other stuff was going on, I couldn't get any trigger time. I knew that at least Friday, taking care of my business on Friday would have alleviated or mitigated any issues today. But anyway, I came out today. West End Gun Club is pretty busy. I know they shut down Lido Creek, the actual Lido Creek shooting range, which is down the street, because of the red flag warnings today. They actually shut down the 200-yard line because of the red flag warnings, because they didn't want any impacts exceeding our impact berm, any rounds going past our impact berm and causing a fire. So that's why they shut down the 200-yard line, which is what I'm sitting on right now. I did come out. I wanted to bring out my 6 Kilo 2000 to laze a few places where we put targets, because while we set up targets here on the 200-yard line, we call it the 200-yard line. It's not technically a 200-yard line because it's like 235 to the back berm. I wanted to get some distances on those points where we place targets, so I know for a fact what those true distances are. So I took some readings, and I think it's 210 to the back of this bottom of this back berm, and it's about 202 exactly where I put my targets at when I put them on a metal stand. So I have a good point where my 200-yard mark was at. What they think is 100 is actually 111, and what they think is 150 is actually 162. So it's a good idea. Good thing I came out here to take some readings. I'm probably gonna take a few more better readings, and I'm gonna try to sketch it out so I can map it and put it on my website for people who come out to West End. But I'm pretty much done for the day. Today's Labor Day. Again, not much for me to do today. I mean, I don't really have much to do. I have nothing planned. I'm probably going to finish up some chores around the house, do some more reloading maybe, and then catch up on Netflix. But that's pretty much it. So until then, that's it for today's range vlog. I will probably be at Camp Pendleton this upcoming weekend for either the 3x600 or the 3x1000 yard long range match. Or I might do both, I'm not sure. Anyway, until then, see you at the next range vlog.
He's hot! He's holding. Oh, took.
Guess.
I just
Good thing I didn't have a round in the chamber.